All right, welcome back, everyone. It's been exactly 15 minutes and we are back here. So, type 1 if you're here. Perfect. Any questions before we start again? All right. I've sent you a link. You can take a look at it. One sec. All right. Can you see it? All right. Can you type here? Let me see if it works. All right, it works. So, at the start of our lesson today, I think we had some small talk regarding the hedging. Now let's do some hedging and academic tone rewriting altogether. So I will give you a sentence and you will apply hedging onto that sentence. First one is social media destroys attention. Okay, can you write it in the document, onto the document, please? Okay, the first answer is this. Social media may have, so you edit may and have a negative impact on attention. Perfect. Because social media destroys attention is a very strong statement, right? Do you have another one? Social media, can you write it on to the document, please? Social media can be a major source of distraction. Exactly. So I've shared the link before. So, destroys attention is a very strong phrase here. Instead of saying destroy, you said it can be a major source of distraction. Social media can make many negative impacts. What else? Okay, social media may be causing or may cause attention deficits, major source of distraction. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Now let me give you another one. Everyone learns better with technology. Social media may result in decline in attention. Learning with technology may work better with some people. No, we are not saying some, we are saying everyone. But of course, we are hedging it. But work better with some people. Like it is very slippery slope to downgrade it from everyone to some. We can do it from everyone to many people. Most people tend to learn better. Yeah, tend to is a very naive word here to use. Learn better with technology. Technology is taught to aid learning. Could we say for anyone? Taught aid learning for anyone. It would be a little bit bold to say everyone, anyone, or no one. People. Um, I think we are changing here the direction in the sentence, like the direction of the idea. For a lot of people, for a lot of people, learning is aided by mm, learning it might be, might be, learning might be better, might be impactful. Learning with technology might be more impactful. Okay, Birsu, we are trying to do the hedging here. We are trying to use a cautious language. That's why we have used may, can, may, might, is taught to, or also somebody said is believed to, right? Who said it? Let me see. It's said to be, right? It's taught to aid, technology is taught to aid learning in a better way. Technology is taught to aid learning, taught to aid better. Is provide. Has provide, technology provides, actually may provide a better way of learning in modern day. Do we have the modern day in here? Can be much useful for learning. Hmm. Yes, Birso, it can work. So to it, learning technology may provide a better way of learning, provide for for most of, for most people. So less than to work. Technology can enhance learning for certain. It says everyone. Uh, Going down from everyone to certain students is a very long way. So that's why we've chosen most people, a lot of people. So Next up, we have 3. Why do we have that blue dot, like blue highlight on top of everyone? So could somebody please unselect these? Because somebody has selected all. Okay, this proves the government is wrong. Can I remove anyone? No. This is still a bit bold. When is your next online course today? What time is it? Well, Jesus Christ. So on paper, this course, EAP, should finish at 11:50, right? So 10-minute break for an online course is not enough at all because you feel exhausted after an online course. Exactly. Okay, this suggests that the government is mistaken. Okay, like you are still very certain here. You say government is mistaken. This may suggest that the government may be or might be mistaken or on the wrong here, might be misled. Like personally, I would want this course to start at 8:30 instead of 8. However, since we have 400 students, it is not easy to mm, like make your announcement read by them, and they might come like some students who are not aware of this arrangement might come at 8 and they don't see anybody in the class. There's no class, so this could give out some wrong ideas. Otherwise, I would want it to start at 8:30 so that we can sleep a bit more. But 15 minutes later than the usual may work. It's a waitable time. Okay, this may suggest the government might be mistaken. Of course, depends on the content. Facts-based evidence found government guilty. This is too, even if it is, uh, even if it were correct, it is still very bold. Facts-based evidence. I understand what you're trying to do here. Found the government guilty. So I have to go with no here so that the ones who are watching this recording later on might not be understanding what we have done here. So let me do. As opposed to fiction-based evidence, this implies that the government could be wrong. Yeah, this is very good. Instead of proofs, he or she said implies that the government could be wrong. So this is very in the middle, so it's good. So next up, this verify. So verify again is a very strong word. Sorry, you were trying to do something and yeah. Okay. Kids are addicted to phones. Tablets. Let's say tablets. Tablet generation. It could be suggested that children are dependent on, you're going very well, dependent on tablets. Dependent on tablets. Tablets might be. Okay, like tablets cannot be an addiction. Tablet usage or tablet, yeah, tablet usage. Like we don't normally say tablet, but we do. What can we say? Electronic device or mobile device usage. Wrong? What is wrong? Yeah, it could be suggested that children are dependent on the usage of technology. The dependent on the tablet was enough actually for the first sentence. Exactly so. Exactly. Sorry. So instead of kids, for more academic writing, of course, we have to say children might have over dependence. Is addiction and over dependence the same thing? Might not be. Might have addiction to tablet usage, let's say. Have an addiction. Might have an addiction to tablet. Or children might be over dependent on tablets. Tablets. Seems to be fixated. Fixate is like okay, Chuck, there is no attendance, by the way. So fixated is like it's used in mm, some research, like it means that you are fixated on a single part of the screen, maybe. It's not really like addiction. I don't know, since I don't care about the attendance. Currently, I haven't checked. Thank God I haven't checked because uh, on the fifth or sixth week, I don't know, like the whole thing got messed up, if you remember, if others do remember as well. So I cannot trust on that. I take my attendance with my own measures. All right. Some children may become overly dependent on tablet use. High screen times on tablets might be harmful. Okay, that's also good. High screen times on tablets might be harmful for children. Okay, so let me give you some things. So when we use, so for hedging, we can use the following words. May, might, tends to, appears to, is likely to, in some cases suggests, and is associated with. Do you want a question like this in the final? Yeah. All right, you got it then. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go back to the thing we had. So we were in the reliability. So actually, we have made lots of references to reliability since we have started this course 9 weeks ago, right? So accuracy is the quality of being correct. Authority, as you know it, um, the quality of having influence and recognized knowledge about a topic. Biased, having in being in favor or against something. Counter argument, you know it. Currency, the quality of something being accepted or in use at this time. I don't see currency being used a lot, so currency will not be in the exam. Domains as well. This is not an IT course. No, no, no. Methodology, yeah. So far we talked about quantitative methodology and qualitative, right? Did we talk about any other methodology? Methodology is the method of conducting a research. You choose a certain methodology to start with. So we have quantitative, which deals with statistics and numbers, and qualitative, which deals with the quotations, like the quality, the content, what is being said, and they are generally done in the social sciences field. And also for the third one, I think I've said it, mixed methods. In mixed methods, you have both qualitative and quantitative parts in a single study. For example, a study about engagement in online courses. On one hand, I have the statistics, numbers, like how many students have joined the class in which frequency. And on the other hand, I have interviews, the content, and the chat logs I have had with my students. And I combine these two in a way it is understandable for the reader than what we call this mixed method research for your knowledge. So it can be in the exam too. So in our objective rebuttal, if we want to remind you this, it's a statement given to disprove an idea used to disprove or highlight weaknesses in a counterargument, in our subjective, and validity, the quality of being logical and reliable. Okay, so we should be careful about the sources we see, we read, and we write about, right? We should see their reliability. We should see the author, the organization it is affiliated with, the date, as well as the structure it was written, the references, and the author's prior experience and expertise in the topic, and the synthesis, the statistics in it, statistics or any type of evidence in it, all of these make up the reliability of a source. So you can ask these questions. Who wrote the article? Are they experts? If it's a website, is it like does is there a name or is there a nickname for that writer? And to see if the writer has talked about only one topic or about everything. So personally, in my research, I've only talked about English language teaching, technology, education, and the crossfire of these three, the crossing point of these three. And I cannot talk about sociology or literature or banking. That's not my thing. So when is the currency? When was the information written? So if you see an article on artificial intelligence written 6 years ago, before ChatGPT was announced, would it be a perfect source of would it be a perfect resource for you? It may not be because lots of things have changed after 2020, right? However, of course, just because, oh, okay, I didn't see that. So, of course, just because it was published years before, it doesn't mean that they are not relevant. Articles written about artificial intelligence by Alan Turing is also very reliable and valuable today. So just because it's old doesn't mean that they are not current, they are not read worthy. So we cannot, let's say, decide on the reliability just by looking at a single factor. Okay, right now, when you see something like that, could you please take a screenshot or send me the link so that I can check it for myself too? Okay. And where is the evidence coming from? Is there a reference list? And are there books or websites or are there journals in the reference list? Or are there conference papers? We know for a fact that the most reliable one is peer-reviewed articles when all other factors are controlled. And then we could have maybe like the textbooks with known publisher and known authors. That we might have let me think. Like the government reports or reports from well-known organizations with lots of evidence, statistics, and permissions, such as like the PISA results or the reports coming from UNICEF. And yeah, and do you trust the information coming from that location? If it is coming from I don't know, um, Turkey to start with, India, China, or Pakistan, and where there are high numbers of plagiarism and made up data. And of course, it's not the only factor, but or in Nigeria. And these are the countries known for high numbers of high frequency of plagiarism and made up data. So why are they writing the article? To inform or to educate or to entertain? Or do they have some type of affiliation with a certain, let's say, company, and they are doing it for their own money-making processes, let's say, then the narrative might change. Okay, when you see a website, what do you look at? Like, what makes you feel that it's reliable and what makes you feel that it's not reliable? Let me get some answers from you guys. If the link is encrypted, well, Ezgi, are you coming from the computer engineering department? Where are you coming from there? Oh, cool. Yeah. And I was shopping for my brother's school. He had to get some uniforms to wear. And I've seen on the website that like the place I'm entering my credit card numbers, it's not saved, like it's not safe too. Because when you start to enter your credit card number, it should show the previous saved ones on Chrome, but it didn't show me. So what I was writing was directly going to the server. Um, to in front of their eyes. So I used a virtual credit card. Okay. I don't know the lock key, but there are some certificates. Yes. The layout usually gives me the general idea, then I start looking at more intricate details. Exactly. And whether like the website is updated, whether the authors there are trying like whether the authors have their own profile pictures, whether they are the real persons, right? And their affiliation and where is it managed from? These are also important. Amount of ads. Yeah, that should also give an idea. Okay, so you have a screenshot from in here. So you have the author, contact information exactly. If they really have an office, if they're really someone, and for how many years they've been around, that's another thing. So here, see, we see in the business view website, there is an article on the AI being the biggest contributor to fake news. And we have the contributor, the author, we have all contact information from him. And but we don't have lots of references. Exactly, exactly. Judging the authority, who is the owner, which organization is the owner, and who is the writer. So when you see Sean Hopkins here, uh, he previously has done these. So he actually has worked for these voice assistants, automated driving, etc. So he has a PhD in machine learning from MIT. So it makes him more reliable. And he worked in the Silicon Valley. So if he's writing about technology, we are hands down for that. Sure, it's a good resource. Sometimes maybe the website is, um, sometimes the website like may not look very good. However, if the contributor in it is good, then should be good. For example, I wrote something in a not very well known newspaper. The newspaper itself was not very known, not very good. I don't know. I haven't checked that much. However, I was writing about educational technology in it, so it made sense. So, Rana has sent a link, one of the news website I was thinking of. Making the okay. Making the age of the article. Oh, I didn't know this feature before. Çok iyi değil mi? Isn't it very good? My God, my camera is going crazy. Because normally what happens with your parents or grandparents is this like they find a news online and they show you, oh, like this is happening or that is going to happen, etc. And when you look at the date of the article or date of the video, it's 9 years old, maybe. Yeah, UK has already Brexited, right? Okay, let's move forward. I hope more websites can adopt. Exactly, I hope too. So we can see the About Us section more reliable when you look at like this. When exactly, as Rana has talked about, you see the date here, and where, and also like when and where of the references is also important. So place here, dates are here. We should be careful about the statistics. So let's imagine that there's a question on the final exam regarding, I don't know, online learning, and you cite a study that was published before the COVID-19 pandemic. And COVID-19 has changed many things when it comes to online learning. So the studies done before that and the statistics that are present in those studies might be checked, might be reconsidered. See, I'm doing the hedging myself. Might be reconsidered because lots of things have changed after that. Objectivity, author, company, organization who's writing those. Is there a multiple points of view? Are there any counter arguments and rebuttals? Do they also reference their own points of view? And language used, whether there are advertisements on the website. So if you locate a source with many advertisements, then can you trust their information to be unbiased? Because it seems that they need a lot of money and they will present the facts in different ways to have that money. Is it possible that this website will present ideas to keep their advertisers happy? So when you are watching an influencer's stories, if you see reclam and if you see sponsored links, can you really believe that the product they are advertising is is worth trying? Or are they like talking about it since it's really good? They're making money out of it. So I forgot my question. Yes, to what? Like, can you trust? Yes, it's coming and very misleading. Yeah. And especially when it comes to like makeup products and health or hygiene products. Yeah. What is the most common advertisement that you see while watching YouTube videos or while you're online somehow? Which advertisements do you see? First thing that comes to my mind is Cambly. Let's give out some real names. They are not my sponsor, by the way. What else? Yeah, gambling sites, Get It and Migros. Migros, hızlı neydi Migros? Hızlı Migros. Migros Jet or something like that. I don't know. Yes, Temu. I hate Temu. They are showing TVs, game consoles, computers, but you cannot buy those on Temu, right? Open English, Yemek Sepeti. Evet, aklındaysa yanında. Yeah. What else? Trendyol is a lot. I use AdBlock on computer and anywhere for CD. Exactly. And if I'm not mistaken, I used to use two ad blockers. Ad blocker, this one. And there's an extension called accept all cookies. So whenever you go into a website, they tell you accept cookies, don't accept, etc. And it takes up a lot of space on your screen. Yeah, I have this accept cookies. Couldn't deal with the ads in YouTube anymore, so I couldn't. You should have bought it for the downloading feature or continuing and the like small frame. What does it mean? Oh, the cookies. Like they are the pieces of little information that you leave on a website, and then it takes up a space in your like Explorer in your internet like the browser, yeah, browser. Go that uBlock. Okay, exactly. Hmm. All right. So we should be careful about all of these. If there are too many advertisements, then we may not trust it too much. So if a YouTube video is talking about language learning, this and that and this and that, but somewhere in the middle they have a sponsored ad from, I don't know, Open English, like, can you trust it? Personally, I wouldn't because and then I would think that everything he's telling or she's telling might be making a reference to the way Open English is working or is teaching. Okay. So avoid screen names, nicknames, and profiles with no pictures, as they say. Resmin bile yok, right? Journalists. So she's writing about Facebook, Elon Musk, video games. So um, she can be a senior technology reporter, right? And that's okay because she's always writing about the same thing. Same, I mean like same field in general. Question and answer websites where you see, so like Quora, Reddit, mm, yeah, or the forums, because the one who answers is just a person on the internet, like this. It can give you an idea, and I know AI has gotten lots of help and data from Reddit. However, again, it is still a person answering these. Mhm. Wikipedia and other wiki sites might be unreliable as well. So judging the reliability of any source takes practice and all of the information takes practice or takes a second thought. And all of the information covered in the unit can be used for any source you find, not just websites. Sometimes you will not be able to successfully judge the reliability of authority, currency, and accuracy and objectivity. But when this is the case, you can also get some help from AI You can ask it to evaluate the reliability of the source for you. And the more you spend time, the more you can find relevant information about those websites, and the higher the source quality will be in supporting your ideas. Like on Quora and Reddit, people are talking about their personal experiences, and personal experiences cannot be generalized. And it can be a starting point for us. Yeah, like have a general idea, and then you move into the other parts. Um, as I say, and as I've said, there is no single way to find out for something to be reliable. So there are many factors. It's crucial to ask questions and be critical about every piece you find. To successfully support your arguments, you need to gain an understanding of who has written that research and when and where they gathered the information and the data. Daron, is that your cat? That says meow. Who was the cat girl last week? Was it Nehir with the cat profile picture? I cannot. Beer soup. Yes, I like that moment is still on my mind. Bir su, özüm Ceylan. I said, "Ps, ps, ps." All right. All right. To successfully support your arguments, you need to gain an understanding of who has written the sources and where they've collected the data and information and why they've decided to write about this. And this requires high level of critical thinking. So let's put an end to it. For now, let's take a break for 15 minutes, and then we will have a short session. The fourth session will be very short and quick and fun. And then I'll let you guys off so that you can take a breath before you move on to your next course. So set up your timers for 15 minutes. Hope to see you then. Bye bye. Set up a timer for 15 minutes. I'm here a few minutes more if you have any questions whatsoever. Yes, Rana, fire it away. Essay lengths in general, or the articles? Are we talking about articles or the essays on the exam? Okay, so I cannot talk about other professors' views, but there is a word count It is highly suggested that you do not go past beyond that. However, if it is on actual concrete paper, it is not easy to count the words there, and nobody will count it anyway. So as long as you have a clear structure, Ahmed, no. As long as right now you have a clear structure, if you use the correct terminology, if you have all the components, and if you are getting your message across, then you should be good, even if it's shorter or longer than the given word count. And like you're asking, if you're asking about how are you going to decide it yourself, like how how much you have written. And like there's no strategy for this. Maybe you can decide on like a mean number of like an average number of words you have in a sentence, then maybe you can count the sentences and multiply that uh, by that average, and you can reach something, but nobody really cares about it, and you shouldn't as well, as long as there's space for you to write, and as long as you give all the components, it's good. Like even though like even if I put a word limit and if the student exceeds that and he or she is writing good already, then I am by all means fine by that and more content. But when it comes to academic articles and research, it's a bit different. And if you have any questions about that as well, I can answer. So it depends on the type of the task, like whether it's a journal article again or a task that you were given by your professor. It really depends on what you are writing for. But of course, they can see the word count. However, there's another nuance there. So, for example, when you have tables in your paper, or when you have references, are they included or excluded? That's a question to ask because different platforms or different types of homeworks or different types of journals have different, let's say, restrictions on that. Thank you too. So guys, I'm going to take my own 10. See you in 9 minutes. Bye bye for now.